Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I'm the owner of a small business called Fauna. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing some no waste items. We're going to be making up a bunch of goodies ready for our little mini launch that's going to be happening this weekend, tackling some of my fabric scraps, which I am very excited about, and overall just having a little bit of a chill time. But firstly, if you are new here, I mostly make and sell scrunchies and macrame, but I do a range of handmade accessories, decor and fun things like that. I film the whole behind the scenes and post it all on YouTube for you all to see. And I'm going to keep this intro super short because I'm really bad at waffling on. And I'm going to crack on with a little bit of sewing at first of some scrunchies that I am planning on restocking this weekend. Over the last few days, I have been making up some of my sold out scrunchies or some that are really low in stock. And you would have seen me doing some of my latte scrunchies at the start of the video. These are from my coffee collection, which is one of my favorite collections I've ever released. I didn't realize, but I did miss one of my strips here yesterday when I was sewing. So it's already been sewn in half. It's already had my little logo label sewn in there. So I do need to turn this into a scrunchie tube. So I use the burrito method for those of you who may be wondering. So before I close up the rest of the scrunchies that are already done and do the finishing seam on those, I am going to very quickly get this one up to the same point that the other ones are at. I might sew up some more scrunchies, I'm not really sure yet, but I'm going to be going through some of my scrap fabric, picking out little bits here and there, and we're going to see what we can make ready for this weekend. So if you haven't yet, grab yourself a nice hot bevy, maybe grab a snack as well, and let's get into it. So I've just cut up a bunch of fabric pieces, kind of like a patterned outer bit of fabric and then a line of fabric, even though that's not necessarily the case. These have been on my list of things to make for years now, and I've had everything lying about for it for ages, but I needed some scrap fabric. So this is kind of the perfect time and the perfect project to do to scrap bust, and my weak wrists are in desperate need of these things. So long story short, we're just going to make some jar openers. So on one side it's going to be a cute fabric, on the bottom it's just going to be whatever scrap piece I can find. Didn't necessarily need to be plain. I would just rather keep my patterned scraps for cute things, if that makes sense. So for like this piece of fabric, for example, is actually an old shirt that I thrifted. Everything gets washed and sanitized, don't worry, but we've also got a bunch of my scraps from my own stock, and then I've just grabbed some plain fabric on the other side and I've cut them into slightly off squares, so slightly rectangular but near enough squares. So on one side it's going to be the pattern fabric, and then underneath you won't really see this because we're going to be placing some sort of no slip grippy fabric. It's not technically fabric. Is it fabric? Don't really know. These things go on the bottom of mats so you can put them in the cupboards. They're like cupboard liners, but it's this like rubbery textured fabric. This is kind kind of going to be on the other side like that, because that way it can grip onto jars. You can open jars, you can open canisters and cans and things like that. I really need these because I'm struggling to open stuff at the minute with my weak little hands. So that is what we are making. So all I'm going to do is sew these together. As you can see, this is inside out, so the good part of the fabric is there in the middle, and I have clipped a bunch of them together. I desperately need some more sewing pegs because I can only peg a few projects together at a time, so I need to invest in some more because I don't have many. But I am just going to sew all the way around the edge, leaving a tiny bit of seam allowance, and then I'm going to leave a gap. So for example, where this blue peg is, I'll sew these bits here, but I will leave a gap, so I'll just back stitch on either side, so that way I can turn them inside out, and then that nice bit of the pattern fabric will be on the top. Then all I have to do after that is sew this stuff to the bottom of it. So hopefully some super cute, quick, fun projects that do use up a nice bit of my scraps. So let's crack on with sewing these. I think I probably will press them afterwards because they're a little bit wrinkled, just so they're a nice square shape before I cut up that rubbery backing, if that's making any sense. So let's head back over to the sewing machine and get all these done, as well as the other ones I don't have pegged yet. So these are all done. There is 4 of the daisy print, then we've got 3 of this like navy floral, and then we also have 3 of this beautiful multicolour fabric. This is from my Malibu items. Take these off because I can't hear myself speak. So those were super quick and easy to sew. I'm sure I took some clips, but now I'm brain farting, but I'm pretty sure I did. But I just quickly snipped the edges off, trimmed the threads, flipped them inside out using like a... Why is my brain not working? I used a pointed dull object to push the corners out to make them nice and crisp. I actually just use a paintbrush for this because the ends are usually pretty good for that. So what I'm going to do now is head downstairs. I'm going to get my ironing board out and I'm going to give these a nice press just to make sure the edges are nice and crisp. And then all I'm going to do with this seam is make sure I fold the edges right in so it's nice and flat like that. Give it a good press, and then what I think I'm going to do when I sew them up is add my label in, just to brand them, so that way if someone ever sees somebody using one of these, they could be like, oh, Fauna Rose, is that where you get it from? What I would have to do first is cut up the grippy backing ready to be sewn onto these. So let's go and get these pressed so we can then move on to the next steps. But how cute are these? They just look like little pillows. A really cute, easy project. But yeah, let's get them ironed. Okay guys, so I have pressed everything and I have just done a couple of test runs of these. So a lot of the times when you make new products, it's trial and error. You have to make some prototypes, you have to tweak some things, and I've just had to give this a go. And I didn't want to film it because we were coming across a few problems. So the first one I did, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but because it's non-slip fabric, obviously as I'm trying to sew, it was just like not slipping, not moving, not going through my machine. So you can't tell massively, but it is a little bit lumpy and bumpy. But on this side, the stitches are a mess. Like, Look at that, not a straight line whatsoever. And I did end up nicking the fabric, so there is a little hole in this one, but it isn't going to go to waste. I'm going to give it to a work colleague. And then this one, I completely forgot to put the label in, and again, it's all like lumpy and bumpy. So this one's going to be mine, but just to show you really quickly, they do open jars and stuff, which is amazing. So that's that one. And then the third and final one, I did exactly what I was doing with those, but I just really helped guide the fabric through, and I pulled it, not too much so, because you don't want to end up messing up your needle or anything. And this one's like pretty much perfect. So there we go with the label at the top, and there is the back, nice and flush. So something I did do was I cut this non-slip fabric a little bit bigger, so there's a little bit more give and wiggle room, if that makes sense. Kind of similar to if you're working with batting or wadding or whatever, you'll often see people cutting that a little bit wider than the project, just so then it's not sliding and slipping about everywhere. So I did the same with that, and then I just trimmed off the edges. So one down, we've got a little stack to go, and hopefully it won't take me too long because it's just 4 straight lines with a little bit of back stitching here and there. So let's get the rest of them made. Right, I'm gonna have to go to work, but I've just sat and cut out a bunch of other scrap project pieces. So all of these are now done, which is amazing. So apart from being photographed and creating the listings and all the boring stuff, that's an extra item ready to go, and a bunch of fabric saved from a landfill and all used up, which is great. But I have just cut up pieces that are the right size to potentially make some more of these, and I have mostly just focused on some of my mini bows. So I've cut the top bit of the bow, the bottom bit, and then the middle strip, and then there was some fabric pieces ready and the right size for my mini scrunchies and my wristlets, so I've cut some of that as well. And I've been organising my scraps as I go, a bit of tidying, so sorry I didn't film a bunch of that process, but I'm gonna head to work, so I might take this vlog into tomorrow maybe, so I'll catch you guys later. Good morning guys. So it's now Thursday and I had a vlog go live last night and you guys have placed some orders, so thank you so much. I do just want to quickly say, I know people probably are aware of this, but my vlogs are a little bit backdated because sometimes I will receive messages after a vlog's gone live from a few months ago saying, oh, I've missed out on this item. When was the restock? I seem to have missed out. Are they sold out so quickly? So unfortunately the vlogs are backdated a little bit. So I'm currently recording this on the 22nd of May. So chances are this probably isn't going to come out till partway through June, maybe even July. So just so none of you ever miss out on launches or stuff, I would really recommend signing up to my email marketing. So sign up to emails on my website or follow any social media that you can, because I try my best to post like daily, more real-time content over there. So that's just kind of like a little FYI, because I don't ever want you guys missing out, because you are some of my best supporters and I am so grateful for every single one of you. So a huge thank you to the 5 of you who placed orders last night. So massive thank you to Paula, Stella, my mum, Karen, Susan and Hayley. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful. My mum actually ended up landing on a freebie and so did Susan. So this is my little sales tracker for the month of May. My mum has asked if she could have one of the little keychain wallets that are launching this weekend, and obviously I'm not going to say no to my mum, so it seems how she landed on the freebie, I'm going to pop that in her order. And Susan actually left a note saying she'd missed out on one of the scrunchies, so she's going to wait out for it. And I'm really hoping I do have one in my market stock, because she's landed on a freebie, so I think it'd be quite nice to maybe put that scrunchie in as her freebie, just as like a nice surprise and as a big thank you for supporting me all this time. So yeah, lots of thank yous to get through today, because I can't thank you guys enough for all of your support. So very quickly, a massive thank you to all my wonderful family members. You have no idea guys how much your support actually means and how much it helps. Oh, there's a really cute bunny out there. Oh, there's a few of them. Anyway, subscribing to my memberships is a massive help. You have no idea. And it's just such a nice, incredible feeling that people want to do that. And I can't thank you enough. I have 3 more people to thank. So I'm sorry if you don't enjoy listening to me waffling on like this, but this is the least I can do to show my gratitude for these people. So Izzy, I cannot thank you enough for every single thing that you've ever done support-wise, as a customer, as a supporter, just as an incredible family member from across the pond. I'm so grateful for you, and you very kindly, sneakily donated to my Buy Me a Coffee page last night, and I'm so close to messaging you being like, I cannot take this, I need to refund you. But I know full well you'll argue with me and say no. So yeah, there's no words. A huge thank you, Izzy, because that is going to be a huge help towards the business and stuff. So thank you so much. And then a massive thank you as well to Susie, who not only treated me to something from my Amazon wish list, which is going to be a massive help at markets. There's some leg raisers that I've been saving up for to help lift my tables up at markets. Susie very kindly bought me them, and she also bought some treats for the cats, which they are so excited about. They've been working their way through them, so thank you so much. And finally, a massive thank you to Dawn as well. Dawn treated me to some sewing supplies, which I am so grateful for. I do have them to hand, so I'm going to very quickly show you. We've got the zigzag sewing machine side cutter, so it's an addition to my sewing machine, as well as all of these presser feet. I've got to be careful with this because last time I tilted it up they all fell out, but how incredible is that? I'm so excited to learn more about sewing, and there is a lot of these presser feet that I do need for upcoming projects and stuff, so I can't thank you guys enough. Dawn, thank you so much. So just know all of your support never goes unnoticed, and an even bigger thank you to every single one of you that just watches these videos. The YouTube side of things is one of the best ways that you can support me as a small business owner and as a content creator. Commenting, leaving thumbs up, sharing, anything like that, subscribing is a huge help towards not just me but the business as well. So I am forever grateful for every single person's support. So in a while I will package up those orders, but I think I am going to get on with a little bit of sewing because I've got loads of pre-cut strips ready to go that I cut out yesterday, which I'm pretty sure I showed you, to make up some no waste bows. So that's probably going to be my best shouts. That way I can clear my cutting island and I can probably use that to package some orders. So we're going to head on over to the sewing machine and see what we can make up. So the bow pieces are all sewn together. All I need to do now is actually pop them into shape, and I'm not going to do this on camera because every time I try and record myself doing this, I cannot do it at all and I get really frustrated. So all I do is like an accordion fold and then attach them together like that. So I'm going to get all of those done. And then there is a few more final steps to getting them finished, but that will be 12 other items ready to go for the launch this weekend. All no waste items, which have been saved from being thrown into a landfill, which is amazing. So we're getting there very slowly. And I am considering not having many more items in terms of different items, just because it is already Thursday and we've got a lot to do separate from the small business, like in personal life stuff, as well as small business stuff. So I think instead of going crazy and going all out and having loads of different items, I think I might just stick to the items I've already got, because I've got some mini wristlets. Well, they're not wristlets because they're only like this big. Some mini keychains, I guess. There's now the jar openers, there's the mini keychain wallets as well as the bigger keychain wallets. There's the bow. So it's quite a lot of items and I'm going to have to photograph them all because, for example, I don't know if you can see, but the keychain wallets up there, there are so many different styles of them, like loads of different patterns and stuff. So it might take me a while to photograph them and list them. So I think I might just spend the rest of the week doing some marketing and photographing them and stuff, and obviously finishing any more items I can. So I don't know if there's going to be more to this collection. There's always going to be a lot more no waste items and different items that I'm going to make in the future, but I think for now it's probably good to put not a great deal of pressure on myself to keep making loads of items when they might end up not being that great. I'd rather make different items with more of a time scale. Does that make sense? So I'm going to make these up. Hopefully I can do it quite quickly and I won't end up getting frustrated. Hopefully it'll go nice and smoothly. So I'll show you guys them when they're done. So all the bows are done and I've just pulled everyone's orders and their goodies. So I'm going to very quickly show you what they've picked up and then I'm going to package them and get going because I've got to go to the post office and then get to work because the day is cracking on and I'm running out of time. So let's quickly see what everyone has picked up order-wise. Sorry, that's my security. Don't mind that. So here is everyone's goodies. So let's start over here. So we've got Paula. Paula's gone for the Miss Daisy mini as well as 2 no waste mystery scrunchies. So thank you so much, Paula. Then we got my wonderful mum. Thanks so much, mum. These are going to be for my niece. So we've got 2 of the little Mon Chéri no waste bows and then 1 of the little snap pouches. I've got some other things to send to my mum, so it might not end up in like cute packaging, but we'll see. Then we got Susan. Susan ordered the Hunter mini as well as the Mocha mini, which is the rich, deep chocolatey brown colour. And then she did say that she'd missed out on the Lena one, so I am going to give her one as a freebie because she landed on a freebie on my sales tracker. So did my mum, hence why she's getting that. Then we've got Hayley. Hayley's gone for a really fun mix of scrunchies. So we've got the aqua, we've got the black swim scrunchie. So this is from the Swim and Gym collection. Then we got the Sylvia and the Holly, all mini. So thank you so much, Hayley. Don't know if I said thanks, Susan, but thank you so much. And thank you so much, mum, as well. Then we got Karen's order. I love this collection of colours. This is like right up my street. I love the neutrals and like the earthy tones. So we've got the olive swim scrunchie. We've got the Clara, which is this like boho sun one. Then we've got the maple, the mocha and the cappuccino, all from the coffee collection. So thank you so much, Karen. You've got really good taste. I love this. It's a good collection. So I'm going to package all of these up and then get to the post office. So let's get on with it. Hello guys, so I ran out of time yesterday to say goodbye. I had to rush off to work, but I managed to get to the post office and I've sent all those orders, which is really exciting. And this morning I took a photo of some of the no waste items and I've edited that and popped it on Instagram just to remind people that I've got a collection dropping this weekend, because I've done like zero marketing for this, which is okay, but at the same time I'm not really prepared, I'm not gonna lie. And now I'm working all day Sunday. I'm gonna be working on the coffee trailer, which is my friend's business. We have just popped for a coffee to see her this morning, so I will be working an event for my friend Hannah, who owns Jackalope Joe. She's an amazing business owner and she roasts her own coffee and everything, so that's what I'm going to be doing on Sunday, which is the day the collection launches. So I've decided to do the launch at like 8:30 p.m. in the evening, so I've got plenty of time to get back from the event and hopefully be ready at my laptop to launch it. All I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days is photographing the items, creating the listings ready for Sunday, but I also might do a little bit more sewing because I think I'm going to try and make up a few more of those jar opener things. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you could give it a massive thumbs up, leave me a comment down below and subscribe if you aren't. All the social media, including the website for Fauna Rose, is linked down below, so feel free to have a nosy in the description. If you want to support me further, you can head on over to my Buy Me a Coffee page, which is where I do my Fauna Rose family membership, so you can subscribe for some extra content behind the scenes, polls, loads of different things like that. That is also linked down below, but apart from that, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!